We filmed our project on Torquay coastline. Common bird species that can be seen here are European herring gulls, greater black-backed gulls, ducks, oyster catchers, swans, shags, herons and rock doves. Here is our methodology. 5 observations were carried out. These were done at random intervals, which means our survey method was ad libitum. This is the table we used to record our observations. Here we are in Torquay Beach, and in the distance you can see a flock of herring gulls. Now here are some facts about the herring gull. During our observations we saw 247 of these. When the tide is out, as shown here, there is an abundance of food such as crustaceans, i.e. crabs, and mollusks such as sea snails for the seabirds to feed on. We found that when the tide was out, there were more birds in the vicinity. On this particular day of observation, the tide was now in. This meant that we saw limited amounts of seabirds here. Often seen in small groups, it was unusual for us to have seen a singular little egret. This was the only egret we saw. Here are the facts. On our final day of observation, we were able to record 4 shags perching on a rock. The bird on the far right has his wings outstretched. This is done after a large meal in order to aid digestion. In total, we saw 10 of these. Here are some shag facts. We made sure to observe the birds from a distance. This not only meant that the animals wouldn't feel threatened by us, but also that the habitat was left untouched. It is important that we take care to preserve this environment, as it is a vital part of the local ecosystem. Torquay is a marine conservation zone. This means that there are laws safeguarding our coastline and the wildlife within it. Here are some facts about the black-backed gull. During our observations, we saw 6 of these. Here flapping his wings is one of the black-backed gulls that we spotted. It is exhibiting natural preening behaviours. A total of 3 mallard ducks were viewed at low tide. Here is their fact file. Oyster catchers are a species of wader. Here are some more facts. This was the only oyster catcher viewed during our observations. We couldn't get any closer to it as we did not want to disturb him or his habitat. Fact file on swans. Although not commonly thought of as being seabirds, 2 swans were present at the time of observation. Here is a picture of the 2 mute swans. We saw 1 grey heron. Here are some facts about that species. Rock doves are a subspecies of pigeon that are commonly seen on cliff faces. We observed 42 rock doves. The dunlin is the second type of wader that we observed. We recorded 8 sightings of these. Here is our table of results. As you can see, the bird with the highest frequency of sightings on Torquay Beach was the European herring gull. The other species common to this beach were the shag and the rock dove. However, a few other species were spotted. Now we are going to go through some health and safety considerations. Some of the health and safety considerations involved here are slipping on wet surfaces, drowning in the sea, getting cuts and bruises, tripping over rocks to obtain a better view of the birds, getting an allergic reaction. I had to take extra precautions when I went out to observe the birds because I'm allergic to seaweed. Stings if you accidentally come into contact with an enemy, rock falls if you're standing underneath a rock face, or finally, you can become stranded by the tide. We went out to observe the birds at a closer view by walking along the rocks whilst the tide was out. Each day we made sure to check the tide times. This enabled us to safely observe the birds and not become stranded. Before undertaking our observations, we made sure that we were wearing the correct PPE. Here we are in Torquay. Here we are in Torquay Beach.
You weren't in shot.
Here in Torquay Beach in Torquay. We're going there next. Here we are in Torquay Beach in Torquay with. Here we are in Torquay Beach in Torquay. Here we are in Torquay Beach. Torquay.